people have a right to be concerned about public safety. In terms of us actually pulling out of the ECHR, what would have to happen in order for us to do that? Because I'm just deeply sceptical it'll happen.
Well, we'd have to unravel the whole Brexit deal for a start. Our wonderful politicians negotiated us into ECHR and to remain there during the Brexit withdrawal negotiations. So withdrawing from ECHR, I'm afraid, it's a complete lie if anybody says they're going to do that. What they could do as a step is repeal the Human Rights Act, because that doesn't remove us from ECHR, but what it does is it removes human rights arguments at all levels of our court system.
Does that include, can I ask, sorry to interrupt, but I think you might have just hit on exactly a point I want to make there. But does that include things like this modern slavery law, which is, as far as I can tell, lunacy, where somebody can willingly pay an individual thousands of pounds in order to transport them to somewhere, like a very expensive Uber, and then be dropped off in the exact destination they've wanted to be dropped off at, and then claim that they were brought here against their will? Is that involved in the Human Rights Act?
Well, that's actually not a human rights point, as a matter of fact. That's an it's a factual point that's raised at the tribunal level. And, you know, as I'm sure you know, Patrick, but your viewers would be interested to know that an asylum claim is harder to prove evidentially than a modern slavery claim. So this is why people who are not coming from countries where they are seeking asylum, I'm talking Albanians specifically here, they claim modern slavery because the evidential burden is significantly lower than claiming asylum, which is a claim doomed to fail anyway from Albania. But, you know, you talked about Afghanistan asylum seekers. Well, we do have a safe legal route for Afghan asylum seekers into the UK. So I think they need to be taken out of the narrative. But Syria and Eritrea, those people would have to prove an asylum claim. And I would have thought the burden on that wouldn't be too high. The current problem we have is with people trafficking across the channel from Albanians coming through the Schengen area entirely legally, because they do have a visa arrangement with the EU now, between Albania and the EU. They come all the way across, and rather than jumping on an aeroplane where they know they're going to get stopped and challenged, they will just come over on the dinghy and then come in through that illegal route. Now, the Nationality and Borders Act said that as of January, all arrivals coming through illegal routes will be prosecuted. There hasn't been a single prosecution, and the prospect of there being a prosecution is also close to zero.